Hey, what's up, you guys? How you doing? This is Joe Martin. Welcome to the Martin University. Welcome to Joe Martin and Associates. Today, I want to go over this quick video, right? I want to go over this quick roadmap. When you register for the masterclass, we'll dive deeper into this roadmap. But right now, I just want to dive into this roadmap. Okay. As you guys know, I always talk about how to access anywhere from 10,000 to 150,000 in 7 to 14 days using your business and your personal credit, right? It's all about positioning, right? So whenever you're dealing with the banking industry, it's always a risk, right? It's either high risk or low risk. The lower the credit score is, the higher the risk. The better the credit score is, the lower the risk, right? So I always tell my people, don't be so score driven, right? Everybody always score, 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 score. I tell people to focus on content because the content is what tells the story. Whenever you go into underwriting, the underwriter is going to look at your credit profile to see your story. Okay. So I always tell people, always focus on content versus score. All right. Now, in this roadmap, the first thing, because credit is very important, we want to make sure we start with credit. Okay. So I break down the 5 factors. So what I'm teaching you is the algorithm and the formula of what's actually creating the score. I talk to so many people that come to me and they say, Joe, my score shot, this and that. They feel real bad about where their score at, but I I don't really like it. Don't bother me because I know most of the times it's just certain things that have to come off the credit file, and then it's certain things that have to go on the credit file. So when a person understands the algorithm and the formula of what's actually creating the score, then they won't look at it like that, right? It's just the things that we don't know usually have us feeling insecure about a lot of things. So when we're talking about credit, there's 5 factors combined that's creating the credit score. You got payment history, you got utilization, you got age, you got mixture, and you have inquiries, which is new credit. Now, each of these factors hold a certain percentage towards the score. So payment history holds 35%. So that's 192.5 points. Utilization holds 30%. That's 165 points. Age holds 15%. That's 82.5 points. Mixture holds 10%. That's 55 points. And last but not least, inquiries hold 10% as well. That's 55 points. Now, when you understand the algorithm and the formula, what we typically do is we take our credit profile, drop it inside the formula, and we see where points are missing from. Now, once we identify where points are missing at, then we hit those areas to get the points added back in the file. That's why I really don't be sweating credit, because when you know how to move and you have the right resources and the tools, it's nothing. Now, once you got your personal credit profile optimized, what we want to do is we want to put that up, right? The reason why we want to put that up is because when we move over on the business side, we want to be strong personal guarantors in case our future relationships with other financial institutions want to go see our track record on how we've been handling our relationships. Okay. So now, when we go into starting a business, let's just say LLC, for example, you want to make sure you have a business phone number, not your personal cell phone number. You want to make sure you get a business phone number. You want to make sure you have a professional business email. Okay. Professional business email. So if your company is called GreenCap, we don't need our email to be greencap at Gmail or greencap at Yahoo. We want to make sure we got professional emails like business at greencap.com or info at greencap.com, something very professional. Because when the underwriter looks at the email, if they see a Yahoo or Gmail or something like that on the back end, it's a strong chance that they'll deny you for whatever you're attempting to get. Next, we want to make sure we got a website. We want to make sure we got an online presence, because when you're dealing with underwriters and financial institutions, they want to make sure that it's a legitimate business. They want to make sure that it's solid. They want to be able to go online and find your business, right? So you want to make sure you got a professional website built, that looks appealing and looks like you're actually doing some really good business. So let's spend some time on our business and get a great website. Next, we have business address. Rule number 1, never use a P.O. box, okay? Never use a P.O. box. So if you don't have an actual location, then you could go get a virtual address, okay? but never use a PO box. I tell people before you use a PO box, I would recommend that you use your residential address, but never use a PO box. And then last but not least is what industry. Okay. So that's going to be determined by your NAICS code. So you want to make sure that you're not in a high risk industry, right? You got some industries that's going to be an automatic decline when you're trying to go to the bank and get some funding. It's going to be an automatic decline. Then you got some industries that's just going to be stricter to a more stricter underwriting guideline. You know what I'm saying? So they're just going to look at it a little bit more. The underwriter's going to look at it a little deeper before they just give you approvals on what you're applying for. But we'll go over this inside the masterclass, and we'll talk about some high risk industries, and we'll talk about some industries that is going to be an automatic decline. We'll talk about that. Now, after you got your LLC or your business structured, the next thing is you want to go do your EIN, which is your employer identification number. This is for tax purposes. Okay. Then after you do your EIN, now we want to go set up your Dun & Bradstreet. Okay. This is where you're going to start establishing business credit and start adding vendor accounts to your Dun & Bradstreet number. Now, before you do this, the first thing that you always want to do is make sure you focus on the address first, because every documentation that you put that business on, you need to make sure that it has the same address across the board. And I'm going to tell you a thing about addresses, even going to personal credit. When you got multiple addresses all over the place, it's a high risk, because it shows, some people, it might show that it's not stability there, right? So when you got one address, even on your personal credit profile, when you got one address, then it shows stability. So if you got old addresses on your credit profile, we need to take those old addresses off. And when you start moving on business, make sure you got the same address putting on anywhere that you file paperwork, or anywhere that you apply for certain things. Make sure it's the same address, business address. That means a lot. Now, after you got your Dun & Bradstreet number, the next thing I want you to do is go open up a bank account, right? Go open up your business bank account. Everybody like Navy, NASA, and Truist. Navy, great for personal. I don't know too much about the business. I think the business credit card reports to the personal file, which I don't like. The Capital One Spark also reports to the personal file. I don't like. And I think the Discover Business Card reports to the personal file that I don't like. The reason why I don't like that, because if it's a business credit card and you using it to scale and grow your business or expand, and let's just say you got a $20,000 credit card and you use 10,000 out of that 20,000, then that 10,000 is going to calculate into your utilization on your personal file. So be mindful of the credit cards, the business credit cards that reports to your personal file. Now, next, after you got your bank account, let's go start setting up these tier accounts. So you got 4 tiers when you're building business credit. By the time you get to your tier 4, I want you to have about 12 to 13 vendor accounts, or 12 to 14 vendor accounts on your business. So everybody always start with Uline, Granger, and Quill, but there's a whole lot more other accounts that you can get as far as tier 1 go. Now, once you got your tier 1 accounts, they usually take about 60 to 90 days to report. Then you want to move to your tier 2. Okay. Now, tier 2, we just got Enterprise, Amazon, and Office Depot. And like I say, we got the largest vendor list. So we have so many other vendors, but I'm just giving you guys an example. Then when you get to tier 3, now you're going to go start setting up your Chase, your BOA, and your US bank accounts. And then by the time you get to tier 4 is going to be your revolving accounts. Okay. Now, this is where everybody want to go. So by the time you get to tier 4, this is when you could purchase, well, you could do it before too, because there's certain things that you could do to expedite things, but you could purchase a vehicle on your business. Okay. Now, this is my man right here, y'all. First, he was low. Then he got to walking, went to Martin University, learned a little something, then he started running. So y'all see my little dude, he running, right? So now, after you get through tier 4, now it's time. Now we finna speed up things now. So now we're gonna go open up 4 more bank accounts. And I'm gonna tell y'all this: whatever you do with one business, you could do it with multiple businesses. Okay. So if we got 25 from this bank, 25 from this bank, 25, 25, and 25, we just went and got access to 125,000 in working capital. Okay. Now, what you do with one business, you could do it with multiple businesses. So if I structured this business the right way, and then I started another business and structured it the right way, now instead of 125,000, I'm gonna do the exact same thing with both businesses. Now I just went and got access to 250,000. And then you land over here, he happy, right? He started off sad, wanted to learn more, went to the Martin University, learned everything that he needed to do, had all the resources that he needed, had all the tools, had the mentor, had the guidance, and now he's sitting over here starting businesses, helping out his family, changing his family tree to a money tree, and you know, working on his purpose. So I'll see you guys in the masterclass. Make sure you hit that link, schedule. We'll dive a lot more deeper into all this information. There's so much information, so much stuff I want to show you. I'll see you there. Looking forward to it. Peace.